HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Everybody, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we have the latest in Hiller sports, plus much more. But first, here are some of the latest happenings in Hopkinton. With support from the 26.2 Foundation and Hopkinton Center for the Arts, the Marathon Quilters Guild celebrated their 30th anniversary and created a beautiful display that depicts the many great scenes and towns of the Boston Marathon. Right now, here's the opening presentation of the 30th anniversary quilt show.
So she's going to give you a little bit of information, and all I have to add is pretty much anything that Jean invites me to come along on, I will say yes to. And that's happened for the last close to 24 years that I've lived in town. And I've lived in town, raised kids with my husband here. And the things I've learned about Hopkinton are, it all starts here. The Kenyans are fast. And if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And for this situation, Jean could have gone fast. She could have made all of them. And she said, I want to go far. I'm going to invite people along on the ride. We didn't know who was going to join us. Just like we don't know who's going to join us every time we have a show. We say, this is what we're going to do, and they come. And the people come, and they lend their hands, and their ideas, and their creativity. And this is the 30th anniversary show. This is quite a spectacle. It's a collaboration, but it's an invitation. And so I'd like to invite you to come and see this, hear about how it was created, understand how it came from Jean's brain to be in front of you. And then she'll tell you that a typical quilt show involves no touching the quilts. That's right. No food and drink in here. And please tell all your friends to come back because we're going to be open Saturday and Sunday. So let me give this to Jean.
Thank you. And first I have a lot of thank yous. So bear with me, but first I really want to say thank you so much to Nancy, who was the co-chair of this show with me. Two of us went for a walk once too long ago and said, all right, nobody else wants to do it, we'll do it. And she ended up doing far more than her fair share, and I'm extremely grateful. I could not imagine having pulled all of this off without her, so thank you very much, Nancy. So this show is a lot of things. We're celebrating 30 years of our Quilt Guild, Marathon Quilters. Obviously, we're big fans because we named our Quilt Guild after the marathon. 130 years of the running of the Boston Marathon, and that's what this special exhibit is about, and also the 250th anniversary of our country. So you'll see that in a lot of the quilts as you wander around. And what we think is so special about the Boston Marathon is that this is really the only major world marathon where you could do a project like this, because they go in a loop, or they don't go through 8 separate towns, each with their own culture and their own history, and that's really what we're trying to represent. We also are really honored that our exhibit is included in the Runners Program this year. It may be at the expo if space becomes available, but it also is going to be featured on Channel 5 on Thursday in their primetime special. Doug Meehan came out and really spent a couple hours getting his nose all the way in that. So we're very, very honored by the recognition of our work. So thank you very much for that. And we also would not have had any of that happen if Kim and Tim from the 26.2 Foundation hadn't introduced this project to the BAA in the first place. They are the leaders of the 26.2 Foundation here in Hopkinton and the driving force behind the future International Marathon Center, which will be in Hopkinton and where this will live permanently. So now you have to build it because we made you have the artwork, so you have to build it. But really, we really thank you so much for championing this project.
I can't wait to see the panel, so I don't want to talk too long. This is awesome. It's just so great to be here. I love this center. I love the things that happen here in Hopkinton. I'm so proud to be your state representative. I do have a citation that we can give you for celebrating 30 years and all the work that you do. And if maybe Susan could join us for a picture, that would be great.
Nancy, you want to
Someone want to hold?
Nancy, you should.
Yeah,
come over.
anyone else who you think should be part of it,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Nancy, here, we should go like this.
Get in the middle.
All right.
And we'll get one with, right there, to
Oh,
John.
feels like my wedding.
Why?
Now we'll do over here. Now do over here. So we all look that way now.
Thank you.
It's not your first day.
Awesome.
No, it's not his first day.
Oh, one more
sorry.
for, this is,
It's not Evelyn's first day either.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
great to
you.
see you. And I'm
So-
really looking forward to walking around, so.
Oh,
Thank
are
you.
done? Okay.
Yeah, would you like to?
Sure, I'll just say real quickly. Some of you figured out I'm not Senate President Spilka, but I'm always so glad to be here representing her. This is not my first time to a quilt show in this space, and it's just so inspiring. But I will say, all of you who know Senate President Spilka, she is so proud that the marathon, half of it, we're just noticing the first 4 panels, the half of the marathon goes to her district. You can be at any unrelated event, and she can be talking about any unrelated topic, and she'll say, well, you know, half the marathon goes through my district, and the start line is in my district. But being here reminds me, so my mom for years and years had a license plate that said wall art, because when she quit making quilts that went horizontally on beds, she started making ones that would be vertically on the wall, and it just reminds me that each of these tells such a story. And the story that you're telling here of each community and what makes each community special and the pride in that community, I've really never seen anything like this, and I'm so glad that you put this together, Jean.
And we know, we're very lucky to have such dedicated legislative leaders, and I know Karen, I think, had 31 invitations for tonight, so we understand that she can't be here, but I believe her sister is a quilter,
loss
so
is
she
my
might be
gain.
in trouble.
Oh,
so-
she is a quilter.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would also like to invite Jack Fleming, who is the president of the BAA, up to make a few remarks and just say, again, thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to do this, and then we have a little gift for you, too.
Thank you. This is my first quilting exhibition. And it's not going to be my last, because I am truly amazed by this. I have such appreciation walking around in the last hour, seeing up close, but also stepping back, and it's just 2 different perspectives. This really is art, and this is a way of participating in the Boston Marathon. It's not just running or ambulating or volunteering or organizing. This kind of showing of support is truly humbling. You're right. When we talked, we were across the street with Tim about, 3 months ago, talking to the school department about something. And after the meeting, Tim stopped me in the parking lot and said, you know, Jack, I think that we have something here in Hopkinton. I'm downplaying because, Tim was the race director in the 1980s of the Boston Marathon, and he is so passionate about the town and about the event. being so different. And you do have to step back once in a while, just like you step back from the looking at and appreciating the quilting, to say, yeah, we have something here that nobody else in the world has. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to go to some of my peer competitor races, whether it be New York or Tokyo or Chicago, et cetera. And nobody has a Hopkinton. There is just nothing else, no other place in the world like Hopkinton. I worked, we were down the street stuffing bibs today, and we were in Framingham earlier with our public safety team. And I came back and I went for a run on the rail trail around the high school, the middle school, and it was, beautiful spring day. There is truly no other place in the world like Hopkinton, and I can't wait for us, not me, but for us to show the world what we have that no one else has. And they're coming in town already, and I hope those that are in town, arriving in Logan or Back Bay Station or South Station, make their way out to Hopkinton this weekend and see what you all have going on, because it is worth the drive.
Yeah, I'll take
It is all of the quilts together in one. This is going to go in a very special place in the Boston Athletic Association. You know what? I think we're going to put it in the Hopkinton office. I was going to take it to the Boston office, but I think it's most appropriate for us to put in the 1 Ash Street office for everyone to see in a very public space.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you do any other races? This is awesome.
We have a half marathon, a 10K, a 5K for anyone
How many more
interested.
quilts can we make? I also want to call up Tim Kilduff and Kim Chisholm from the 26.2 Foundation, who have really gotten us to this point. We would never be standing here without them, but I also, while they're coming up, want to point out all of the other quilts that are part of the special exhibit around the panels are related to what Tim preaches to us, is the marathon footprint. And so I invite you to explore them later, but they're all tributes to different aspects of the marathon. There's one, I see we have the artist here to represent all of the charity runners, and she has run for a cause that is near and dear to her heart for decades. And so there's a quilt over there honoring all of the charity work, but particularly the work that her charity has done. There's some other historical quilts, so I invite you to explore all of those afterwards. But Kim and Tim, if you want to come up and, okay, Tim, if you want to come up and say a word, that's great.
Jack, I was on the Common this afternoon and met a couple and their 2 daughters from New Zealand.
I saw you on the common,
Yeah, just,
looking out the window.
This is what happens. Just a couple of things. Thanks for giving me this little moment. Appreciate it. Jack referred to other marathons in the world, and I think we sometimes forget that the Boston Athletic Association essentially is in competition. There are other big marathons. Some have 50,000 runners and so forth. They're not quite built the same way this one is, because in addition to some of the wonderful things they do in the community, this is a race. And people have to qualify to get here. So that puts a little different spin on what we're doing. One of the mystiques, it's almost, I was thinking about this, it's almost magic. But one of the elements of magic for the Boston Marathon is in fact the course. And Jack referred to that. It is simply unique. I had the opportunity, Jean and Nancy invited me to one of the early sessions of the quilters. I got to say, my head was spinning when I walked out. And I just very quietly said to myself, I can't even imagine how this is going to get put together. But that course, they've captured the elements of the course that 30,000 people are going to run through. and it's really spectacular. The other thing that they've helped to do is what the Boston Athletic Association gets a lot of credit for the fact they put on a world-class event. But I was thinking the other day, I think the most important thing that the BAA does is to create a platform from which memories are made. And it's not just memories for 30,000 runners. Think about the people they bring with them, the hundreds of thousands of people along the course. The memories that get created around the Boston Athletic Association to me is probably the most heartfelt aspect of the event. It's really spectacular. So the quilters, you said 40 or so, you captured something that most people, they'll experience when they're on the course, but you've captured something that really will go down in the annals as another opportunity to create memories. So for that, those of us who have been involved in the race for a while and have great appreciation for it, have appreciation for what you've created. So very, very, thank you for sharing your talent. And you, in fact, have created memories that are going to be added on to 130 years of Boston Marathon history. So thank you.
HCAM is supported by our viewers. Thank you. And by the Hopkinton Independent newspaper and online news site. The newspaper reaches 100% of the homes and businesses in town, and the website is updated daily with exclusive Hopkinton content. Readers can receive a daily newsletter and breaking news alerts via email.
On Monday, April 6th, Hiller Boys Lacrosse hosted Medway and got the scoring going early and often.
Hopkinton Hiller's Boys Varsity Lacrosse on HCAM. We are underway. Hopkinton Hiller's Medway Mustangs, and how about a score to get the action started? The Hillers right off the bat. It is Cal Rockwell taking it upfield, and he pops it in. We are 8 seconds in to this matchup. There's a pass and a shot and a score. Justin Pillard makes it 2-0. Looking to bring it around. And knocked out of his grasp. Pillars have it. Collected by the goaltender, Nate Spinelli. Pillars quickly into Medway territory. Shot there, and it's in. Looking for the shot there, and it's in. Will Tosca fires it in at 5:08 left to go in the first quarter. That was picked up by Jimmy Sanda. There's a shot, and it's in. Good save there by the Medway keeper. Hillers get it right back, however, and they strike. Pass intercepted by Dacey, takes it right upfield. Get to hear all about it at the halftime break. Looking to close in, a shot and a score. Ryan Dacey.
Hillers had a 7-3 lead at the half and never looked back, taking the win 11-5. On Tuesday, April 7th, Hiller Track and Field battled Holliston. Andy Downen was our guest announcer for the events.
Big meets and championship meets coming down to a half a point.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So here's Downen, has another gear, looking very strong here. Downen, so the two Panthers here, and then these are both freshmen. Holliston freshman here, Lucy Downen, 5:36 there unofficially, and then Emerson Harrington 5:39. And then Chloe Tumbleton from Hopkinton, 5:44. So there's 1, 2, 3. Again, 8 points on the team side there for Holliston. And Hopkinton picking up the 1 point there by Tumbleton.
Andy, runner himself, also a fan of the Holliston track
Medfield team. It certainly is.
And here's a solid finish here in the second heat of the boys 800. Look at that, 2:33 roughly there for the winner of the second heat. Here with 100 to go. The freshman looking very strong here over the last 100. Harrington is going to pick up a big 5 points here for the Panthers. We'll watch the clock, 12:46 unofficially for Harrington. And Klein, the Hopkinton anchor, is Stucci going to have one more gear? It looks like the Hillers are going to hold on. Hopkinton holds on in the girls 4x4. Very exciting though. Obviously very clear here in the boys 4x4. And my assumption is this is probably not even the A team for Hopkinton. And they're still well under 4 minutes here at about 3:50 there for the Hopkinton boys.
Hiller boys took the win, 107.33 to 28.66. And the Hiller girls also took a win, 91 to 45. On Wednesday, April 8th, Hiller Unified Track and Field hosted Norton. It was a great competition between the TVL teams. Also on Wednesday, Hiller baseball and softball were in action against Medfield. Hiller baseball was scoreless until the bottom of the second.
Line up and the pitch. Hit in the air, right side towards the fence. It's going to drop. And that's going to be a big base hit. Rounding first, rounding second. He's heading to third as a run scores. Slides in, and the Hillers take the lead. And that is going to be an RBI triple for Moore at the plate. Line up and the pitch. And this is going to be hit up the middle. That'll get through the dive of the second baseman. Another run in to score. Coming around from third, Connor Moore. Well, Moore gets the triple and now tallies a run to make it 2-0. Kickoff attempt there. Line up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He's going to take off at third and it throws high, gets away. Here he comes to home plate, slides in, and he's safe. And the Hillers have another run.
Medfield struck back in the top of the third with a pair of runs, and it was a 3-2 Hiller lead into the bottom of the third.
Slowly called off the right fielder, and it drops. One run is in, and now you got two runners over at third base. They got both of them in a pickle. They're going to go after the one at third, and they'll get an out. And this is going to be hit high in the air, left center towards the fence, and that's going to drop. A big base hit there. Here comes a run. And he's going to keep going at third base. The throw gets into the dugout. And they'll quickly recover by home plate, but that is going to be a monster triple. And an RBI for Michael Sullivan.
Medfield ties the game with a run in the top of the fourth and another run in the top of the fifth. Game tied 4-4 into the bottom of the sixth.
Lines he deals, and this is hit in the air, and that is going to get through the gap. Lead runner being waved around. The throw in is going to be off the mark, and the Hillers take the lead. And they'll get the out at second. So they score the run, but Medfield gets the out. And just like that, we're heading to the top of the seventh. But the good news is the Hillers have a 5-4 lead on HCAM.
Hillers lead 5-4 into the top of the seventh. Matt Pedroli on the mound. to try to close it out.
I'm happy to be with you on the call. It's been a great game between these two teams. And there's strike three, one away. Swing and a miss, and he got him. 2 down. Left hand the pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's your ball game. Matt Pajoli closes it out.
Hillers take the win 5-4 and improve to 3-2 on the season. Medfield falls to 2-1. Hillers softball was in action. Bottom of the first. Caroline Osmond at the plate.
And there's ball 4. That's going to score a run. Run around to score. And that will make it a 7-0 Hiller lead.
Hopkinton would end up taking the win 8-0. Hillers improved to 4-0. Medfield falls to 2-3. On Thursday, April 9th, Hiller boys volleyball was in action. Steve Sweetapple and Mike Terosian on the call.
George gets to that. Moore goes outside to Stroini. Alex, great dig. Liam. Devore is there. Kept it alive. Oh, nice hustle. Hillers take the first set 25-11. 4-19 in the second set.
Ended with some authority right here.
Yep. And he did. Handled well by Stoini. That's it.
Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.